You know that feeling when you wake up, see your to-do list, and your brain just nopes out? Like you know what you need to do, but your body feels like it's moving through molasses? If you're nodding right now, if you're tired of battling your own mind every single day, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. I'm Tony, and I've spent years studying why smart, capable people like you and me can feel completely hijacked by our own brains. Today, we're going to explore something that changed everything for me: the science of your brain's reward system and how understanding it can finally help you take action without that constant internal war. Here's what we're going to uncover. First, why your brain is actually designed to procrastinate and why fighting it makes everything worse. Then, I'll share 3 brain hacks that work with your neuroscience, not against it. And finally, how to build a reward system that actually motivates you instead of leaving you feeling guilty and drained. Because here's the truth that no one talks about. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a signal from your brain that something deeper is going on. Let me paint you a picture. Sarah, 32, sits at her desk every morning with her coffee and her best intentions. She's got a promotion riding on this project. She knows exactly what needs to be done. But instead of starting, she finds herself refreshing email, organizing her desk, maybe checking just one more social media post. Sound familiar? By noon, she's drowning in shame. Why can't I just do it? She asks herself. What's wrong with me? But here's what Sarah doesn't know and what changed everything when I learned it. Her brain isn't broken. It's actually doing exactly what it's designed to do. You see, procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about your brain's ancient survival system trying to protect you from perceived threats. Let me introduce you to dopamine, not the feel-good chemical you've heard about, but the real dopamine, the anticipation chemical, the something important is about to happen chemical. Your brain releases dopamine not when you get a reward, but when you expect one. And here's the kicker: if your brain doesn't believe the reward is coming, or if it thinks the task is too big, too boring, or too threatening to your sense of self, it literally withholds the dopamine you need to get started. This is why you can spend 3 hours scrolling through your phone, constant micro-rewards, constant dopamine hits, but can't seem to start that report that's due tomorrow. Your brain has learned that Instagram gives reliable dopamine. That report, not so much. But here's where it gets interesting. A study from Stanford showed that people who understood this, who stopped fighting their brain and started working with it, increased their task completion by 40 in just 2 weeks. So, how do we hack this system? Let me share the first brain hack that completely changed my relationship with getting things done. Brain hack 1. The Dopamine Bridge. Think of your brain like a toddler at a grocery store. You wouldn't hand a toddler a cart and say, go get everything on this list. You'd break it down, make it fun, and give them small rewards along the way. Here's how it works. Take any task that makes you want to hide under your blanket. Now shrink it down to the smallest possible version. Not write the entire report, but open the document. Not organize the entire closet, but hang up 5 shirts. But here's the secret sauce, and this is where most people get it wrong. You need to celebrate that tiny win. I'm talking about literally taking a moment to acknowledge what you just did. Maybe it's a fist pump. Maybe it's telling yourself nice job. Maybe it's your favorite 30-second song. Your brain doesn't know the difference between finishing a marathon and opening a document. If you tell it that opening the document was an achievement, it will reward you with the dopamine hit you need for the next step. I tried this last month with a project I'd been avoiding for weeks. Instead of trying to force myself to do the whole thing, I set a timer for 5 minutes and committed to just reading through my notes. That's it. When the timer went off, I did a little dance in my chair seriously. The dopamine hit was immediate. And you know what happened? I kept going for another 20 minutes, not because I forced myself, but because my brain was finally on board. But what if you're dealing with something bigger? What if the task itself feels overwhelming, no matter how you break it down? Brain hack 2, the emotional reframe. Here's what nobody tells you about procrastination. It's often not about the task itself. It's about what the task means to you. Your brain might be avoiding that presentation, not because it's hard, but because it's connected to your fear of being judged. That phone call you keep putting off? Maybe it's linked to your childhood fear of rejection. Neuroscientist Dr. Judson Brewer discovered that when we acknowledge and name these deeper emotions, the brain's threat detection system calms down. It's like your amygdala finally exhales. Here's the practice. Before you start any task you've been avoiding, take 30 seconds to complete this sentence. I notice I'm avoiding this because it makes me feel. Maybe it's I notice I'm avoiding this because it makes me feel like I'm not smart enough. Or I notice I'm avoiding this because it makes me feel like I'm going to disappoint someone. Just naming it, not fixing it, not analyzing it to death, just acknowledging it. Research shows this simple act of emotional labeling reduces activity in the amygdala by up to 50. When I finally admitted to myself that I was avoiding updating my website because it made me feel like a fraud, something shifted. The task didn't get easier, but the emotional weight lifted. I wasn't fighting both the task and my feelings about the task anymore. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. What if I told you that most of what you know about willpower and self-discipline is actually making your procrastination worse? Brain hack 3, the Energy Audit. Your brain runs on glucose. When you're trying to force yourself to do something, you're burning through your mental energy like a gas-guzzling car. But when you align your tasks with your natural energy rhythms, you're suddenly driving a hybrid. Here's what I learned from chronobiology research. Your brain has natural peaks and valleys throughout the day. For most people, deep focus is highest in the morning, creative thinking peaks in the afternoon, and routine tasks are best tackled in the evening. But here's the game changer. Instead of trying to force yourself to work on important stuff during your low energy times, batch your tasks according to your energy type. I started tracking my energy for just 1 week. I noticed I was trying to do creative work at 3 p.m. when my brain was in its afternoon dip, and then beating myself up for not being productive. When I shifted that same work to 10 a.m. during my natural peak, everything changed. Here's your mission. For the next 3 days, just notice your energy levels every 2 hours. Rate them 110 and write down what type of work feels natural at each time. Don't change anything, yet just observe. Then, start matching your hardest tasks to your highest energy times, and your routine tasks to your lower energy times. Your brain will thank you with better focus and less procrastination. One more thing, and this might be the most important part. In our culture, we've been taught that if we can't force ourselves to do something, we're weak. But what if the opposite is true? What if working with your brain instead of against it is actually the stronger choice? The research is clear. People who understand their brain's reward system, who work with their emotions instead of against them, and who honor their natural energy rhythms don't just get more done, they feel better while doing it. They're not more disciplined than you, they're not more motivated than you, they just stop fighting their own neuroscience. So, here's what I want you to try this week. Pick one task you've been avoiding, just one. Use the dopamine bridge to break it into the smallest possible step. Name whatever emotion is coming up around it, and tackle it during your highest energy time. Remember, you're not broken. Your brain isn't broken. You're just working with outdated software. And now you have the update. In the comments, tell me, which of these brain hacks resonated most with you? Are you going to try the dopamine bridge, the emotional reframe, or the energy audit first? Your answer might help someone else who's struggling with the same thing. And if this helped you see procrastination in a new light, share it with someone who might need to hear this too. Because the more people who understand that procrastination isn't a character flaw, the more compassionate our workplaces and relationships become. I'm Tony, and remember, you're not behind. You're not broken. You're just learning to work with your brain instead of against it. And that's exactly where your breakthrough begins.